Hello, good morning, and welcome to the Cock-a-doodle-doo land here in the Philippines. My goodness, one wonders how anybody coming to the Philippines can manage daily life when you listen to some of the childish and stupid comments that come from some Americans who claim to tell you stories of every man's story, or every man has a story. And we already know how recently, in the last 6 or 7 months now, the controversy that came from his comments, and he said this, she said that, and getting involved in altercations between others just don't get you anywhere. But once again, the guys can't help themselves. They end up commenting on other people's channels, in their live streams, suggesting keep away from my wife to one of his neighbours, a fellow American. My God, it's like kindergarten. You know, if you come to anywhere in the world and you bring with you the attitude that you maybe have carried around with you for so long in your life, that you're so insecure that you feel the need to make a comment like that to the world. And that's what you do if you go on somebody else's channel on a live and tell your neighbour, and he would know who he is, to keep away from his wife. What does he think? Why do people feel the need to even think that way? You know, I'm sure that many people meet wives of others, friends, and think, she's a bit of a stunner, or she's not so great either. But that's a personal comment, should be kept here. It shouldn't be expressed to others. Oh, you know, yeah. You could say, well, you certainly, Jim, found a wonderful wife, or Mark, your wife's a very pretty lady. And that's where it should end. The idea that you somehow, in a childish way, stand up and fluff your feathers towards others around you, that we can't help it. But if they're your neighbour and they happen to be a foreigner, why on earth pick a fight online with others? Now you might say, why am I talking about it? Well, the reason I'm talking about it is I'm shocked. Well, I'm shocked, but I'm not. Mark has a habit of showing his true colours, and that is his self-importance of himself. You know, I'm just John, British expat in the Philippines. That's all I am. And when people come up to me and say, oh, you're a blogger, you know, like as if you're a celebrity, yeah, I suppose I'm amused. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily flattered, but, you know, that's just something I do as a hobby. And I appreciate that they like my videos, or that they like to, I don't know, rub shoulders with people. Some people like to say, oh, this man who's a famous person is my friend, to sort of somehow rub off this, you know, he's one of my buddies, you know, like as if I'm important. But the trouble with Mark is that he just can't seem to get away from being childish. He gets himself in the mess that he gets because of his reactions. You know, I can go here in San Fernando, you don't see a lot. You know, recently I've been watching a video that is really only talking, but it's walking along a street I believe in Pattaya or Phuket, one of those places in Thailand. And it's talking about a person, I don't even know who he was, but it's stories, really. True, down-to-earth stories about falling in love with bar girls. But what I'm interested in, the story is amusing, it's entertainment, and it's life experience. It shows you that things can happen. And the essence I get out of the video is walking along the road with the camera, and the place is flooded with foreigners, and they look so sad and lost when they're sitting on benches and walking alone, looking empty and flat. And I'm thinking, what a sad lot of individuals. It's like old lions coming back into the pride, trying to find something to build their life up. You know, if you came to the Philippines with the idea that somehow bringing along your aggression, your almost like, what do they call it, road rage, but relationship rage, then really you shouldn't be here. You know, if it's that miserable for you to have to keep looking over your shoulder at people who might take a fancy to your wife, you know, just move on. It's not important. You know, some Americans, like I'm saying, some Americans or some foreigners, I'll say, I won't just pick on American, some are quite arrogant. They come across that way. You know, you say, "G'day, how are you?" "Oh, wow, another," you might start it up like I do sometimes. "Oh, wow, another foreigner." Like, isn't that strange? And you might get a giggle, you might get a laugh or a smile. If they choose not to talk to you, I've not lost anything. If they stop and they say, "Oh, hello, where are you from?" And I say, "Where I'm from, Nigeria." And, or I might say, from Australia or England, without trying to get it complicated at the beginning. But some will bounce into great conversation and you walk away feeling, wow, that was an interesting guy. And he's probably walking along with his wife. But you can't help but sometimes think, interesting partner. But that was his choice. But those that ignore you do it for two reasons. One, they're either ignorant, or maybe they just don't want to talk to another foreigner. Maybe they didn't come here to get into conversation with another foreigner. But to deliberately go onto somebody's channel and say, "Yeah, you're my neighbour, but keep away from my wife." Really strange. And I got the information, believe it or not, from a very charming American guy doing a video with an equally charming to-be wife. I don't think they're married yet, but they were long-distance relationship for about 7-8 months, and now he's been here 1 year. And she's an absolute ray of sunshine. And they're, you know, they're in that honeymoon stage, but they do interesting videos. I think it's called Filipina and Foreigner, or something like that. But you should go and watch it. It's a breath of fresh air. He's actually not American. He's Canadian, I believe. And, you know, it appalls me that Mark feels the need to show his immaturity. You know, he does his many, was it old man telling stories or something like that. I think I'm subscribed to his channel. And I'm not like one of these guys who says, "Oh, don't like his videos anymore, so I'll unsubscribe," because you never know, there might be something that takes your interest. But the guy he only does channels to embellish himself. He's not really interested in these people. They bring people to his channel, which is fine. You know, I'd much rather watch Paul, Old Dog New Tricks or something like that. And again, you know, why reflect on his wife? She's doing alright, she's got a nice channel, she seems a pleasant enough lady. I don't agree with everything he has to say. I don't agree with everything that the people he interviews have to say. But it's still not about trying to attack other people, other foreigners. Come on, we're all here to enjoy ourselves, to be happy. If Mark is so, I think his name's Mark Thornton, something like that. If he's so miserable here, why doesn't he just go back to working on the ships, like he says, or maybe buying a fleet of cruise ships, like he was trying to suggest he was going to do with some buddies? This is a guy on a pension with no money. You know, Walter Mitty Dreams guy. He needs to grow up. He's only going to make himself look more stupid. And my advice to any foreigner is be careful who you chat to. Yes, by all means. But there can be a lot of benefit by having a foreigner as a friend, somebody to go and have a coffee with occasionally. I'm not suggesting that you go every day and meet at a hotel or a coffee lounge. I mean, that's taking it too far. If you need that kind of input in your life, then you must have a pretty empty kind of life here. There's too much going on for me to do that. I admit, hand up, I go and have a coffee with Peter, my friend up the road. He's fun, he's a breath of fresh air, and I come away feeling, yes, that's my dose of coffee and Peter for the day and for the week. One day a week, sometimes we miss out. Neither of us, I'm sure, are that worried that we've missed out, but we enjoy our company, having a bitch about each other, a bitch about what we think, and a banter, a play, in our own tongue where we're not being misunderstood. And that's what life should be all about. Just a little taste of sugar that makes things a bit sweeter and makes them enjoyable, just like your Filipino wife, chatting to her friends, talking online. Don't deprive people of that. And certainly don't act like a little school kid and say, keep away from my wife. You know, come on, guy, grow up. Anyway, that's my early morning, 5 o'clock in the morning thought for the day. And you can hear my buddies in the background. So you have a great day, and no doubt we'll speak again. Bye now.